Welcome to Thronebreaker. I'm gonna try this game out today. I have not played it before, and let's talk fast about my history with the Witcher games. I actually own all three mainline Witcher games, although I'm not sure if I owned a physical copy of the first one, but I'm not actually sure if I still have it. Probably do somewhere. But the thing is that I've really only played the third one, and I've actually completed that one twice, all the way through. I have quite a lot of hours in that game. The thing is about Witcher 1 and 2, even though I've owned them, I've had trouble running those games. The first one I remember being a really painful experience to get installed, because at that time the Enhanced Edition was already released, but I got to the shop and there was only a box copy of the original version. But I knew back then that you could just free of charge upgrade your standard edition to the Enhanced Edition, so I thought, oh, why not, let's just buy this one. So yeah, installing took long, downloading the patch to make it the enhanced version took long, and then I finally booted it up and it wouldn't run on my computer back then. So that was a shame. Kind of the same deal with The Witcher 2. Years later, I bought it on sale, I believe, and I think it wasn't so much a problem that the PC I had at the time could run it fairly fine, but yeah, it had this weird kind of chugging and kind of, I don't know, it was a bit scary, honestly. It seemed like it was killing my graphics card back then. Kind of choppy, weird, artifacty quality to it that I just wasn't comfortable with playing more than I should. But yeah, then The Witcher 3 hit, that ran fine, and played it through twice. So, and then there was Thronebreaker, which I never really had only a passing interest in, and never actually bought it until now. So let's try it. So there is the multiplayer, which I guess is just the free-to-play Gwent game, which I'm not interested in. I've had a look at the options, and the only thing really that I changed was the resolution, some audio options, and setting the game to offline mode, because yeah, I'm not interested in playing multiplayer. So let's start. Select your difficulty. Adventurers, for players who want to sit back, relax and enjoy the story with the option to skip battles. Well, for players seeking a moderate challenge and an impactful story. Bonebreaker. For players familiar with Gwent and ready to put their skills to the test. Thing is, I am somewhat familiar with Gwent because I played the Witcher game, but then I didn't play the standalone game Gwent, and to be honest, I wasn't really all that good or interested in Gwent in The Witcher 3. I don't actually remember if I completed the quest that involved Gwent, the tournament. Maybe looking back now, I think I even failed it, because you could lose the tournament, and I think I did. And I don't know if I bothered going back after they installed, when they released the patch that could, where you could individually change the difficulty of Gwent. But yeah, so for that reason, I'd probably go with Battle Hardened, just the medium option.
The year 1267. War hung in the air, its scent palpable. The mighty empire of Nilfgaard stood poised, greedily eyeing the northern realms just across the Yaruga. In light of the threat, the realm's sovereigns met in summit. They made declarations, pledged fraternal assistance, forged alliances, and then, in good spirits, dispersed. Among them, Meve, Queen of the Twin Realms Lyria and Rivia. Know the name? Heard her beauty extolled? Justly so. Remarkable she was. Not for her graceful exterior, but for her persistence and courage. Where was I? Ah. As the Queen and her retinue neared her capital, Count Caldwell appeared. In Maeve's absence, the Count was to have helped her son, the youthful Prince Willem, run the Twin Kingdoms. Caldwell had clearly ridden hard. Drops of perspiration dangled from his whiskers, his neck red and chafed from a ruff, starched stiff.
So yeah, story started out where, well, this entire game is presented in this kind of premium comic book style aesthetic. And to be honest, in The Witcher 3 I didn't really like it that much. But I think it was because it was kind of juxtaposed to the actual gameplay and the other in-engine or whatever you'd call it. Well, that also had kind of those CG cutscenes pre-rendered. But yeah, they really upped their ante in this game. It looks much nicer than in Witcher 3. But then again, I guess they had the ability to throw a lot more. Well, let's say just invest more time and money on the this kind of comic book style part of the game. So yeah, I have to click to continue. So we shall.
Hail, Your Majesty. Delighted to see you in good health. The summit, it ended fruitfully, I hope?
Yes, at its end, letters were exchanged, documents signed. Paper. Time will tell of what value. That will suffice as cordialities go, Caldwell. Tell me what's happened, for I sincerely doubt sheer longing prompted you to ride out.
Indeed, Your Grace. Another circumstance inspired me to do so.
Yeah, looks really good.
The strays of Sparla, the bandits, I was to tend to during Your Grace's absence. The situation's gotten out of hand, I fear.
Seems quite haggard about it. Let's tell him to settle down.
Steady, Caldwell. Come now. Deep breath. All right. Speak. What has happened? Be precise.
As Your Grace ordained, I set out and was nipping at the bandits' tails for long. We pursued for weeks, until scouts returned, having sighted the strays' camp in the forest near Locheren. We waited for nightfall to surprise them as they slept. Alas, it proved a ruse. We found the tents empty, straw-stuffed dummies round the fire. Soon, we learned that as we waited for the sunset, the strays had snuck away, rounded our positions and ridden to Hawksburn.
Right, so these little dots, they're animating when he's still talking, because it's quite. There was a few times when there kind of silences between sentences or words that I thought, oh, I have to press the mouse button to continue, but then it went on. But then you can check these animated points to see if he has more to say or if he's done talking. But honestly, I just have this mouse symbol not appear until he's done talking. But yeah, I guess they want this to on screen all time, just to remind you that you can't skip it if you want.
I beg your pardon, my lord. The tax collectors. That is where they station.
So the gold? All of it?
It's stolen, Your Grace, but I shall do all in my power to recover it. This I vow, if it be Your Grace's wish.
After weeks in the saddle, Your Grace's wishes are modest. A hot bath and a night's sleep in her own bed. Yet, they shall have to wait. I must look personally to this matter. Your force, Caldwell, I will now command. You... send a herald to Hawksburn. They must prepare for the Queen's arrival. Air the rooms, dust off the porcelain. Make certain they do it. Do you see now, Reynard? I believe I foretold it would be thus. My son wasn't ready in the least to rule an entire country.
I confess, Prince Willem has much to learn yet.
Yes. And very little time.
Welcome to the Thronebreaker tutorial. Before embarking on your adventure, you should get acquainted with basic game mechanics. You can control your character by using the mouse button, following the cobblestone road to reach the next stage of your journey. I like the look of this. You will expand your army throughout the game, but to do so you must collect following types of resources: gold, wood and recruits. While on the road you can find useful items and even new companions who will support you in battle. If you don't want to miss anything, be sure to thoroughly explore the map and complete side quests. Right, so this game actually has side quests.
Oh, thought it were bandits riding in.
Alright, see, we have gained some troops through that. Wood. Can we tell how to... There we go.
Look, they stretched her over a fire till she told them where she buried her gold. Rather die than tell him she would, but I know where she kept it. Sit tight, sketch it out for you.
Congratulations, you found a treasure map. Search the area and you may just find the secret location marked on the map with an X. So we're looking for a lone house with a campfire or something next to it. Oh, thank you. It looks like we can actually just hold the mouse button to walk. An obstacle blocks your path. To remove it, you will need to spend some of your resources. Right, let's see. Yeah, I was just about to say, this looks like the house. Loot found. Congratulations, you've discovered a card that can be used in the Gwent multiplayer card game. Reynard Odo. Hang on. Save and exit game, save and exit to main menu, so that we don't get well, the option to save at our own behest, it seems. This game just auto saves and saves and at exit, but you can't really load back saves you've hard saves basically. Well, Your Majesty, it seems someone felled an old oak, which now blocks the road. Unfortunately, our wagons cannot go around it. How do you wish to proceed? Let's see. Have the loggers sort the matter. Our soldiers should conserve their strength. So we lose some gold, but we gain more wood. Issue access to the soldiers and put them to work. -1 soldier, plus 25 wood. Well, we have quite a bit of gold. Let's do this. Not sure the locals would appreciate it if we just send some soldiers in there to chop up the wood. Most interactive objects are marked clearly on your map, but not all. Some events can be predicted. Some events cannot be predicted. So you'd best be prepared for anything.
Count Caldwell rode at the column's head, scanning its flanks with a wary eye that, despite his advanced age, proved very sharp indeed.
Your Majesty! Bandits! There! At the tree line!
The Count's footmen, unaccustomed to escorting their queen, sought to shield her with their bodies and assumed a tight formation to do so. They were promptly knocked aside as Meve charged headlong at the bandits, brandishing her blade and bellowing a ferocious cry.
Attack! Charge!
Okay, we're done. Right. The Roach Edge. Meve was convinced the bandits would flee to the cover of the forest upon realizing their grave mistake. After all, no ordinary bandit would dare attack the retinue of a queen. Yet the strays of Spala were a different breed. They held nothing sacred. Story battle, a key battle in Meve's story. And unique cards may appear in your hands or decks. Unique cards will appear in this battle. Alright, so now we can actually load last checkpoint. But yeah, let's start the battle. This is the battlefield. You will play your cards on the bottom half and your opponent will play it at the top. Units can be placed on one of two rows, melee or ranged, but remember the ability of some cards may be different depending on the row you play them. A standard battle can last up to 3 rounds. The first to win 2 rounds wins the whole match. Players can alternate their turns during your turn. During your turn, you can play only 1 card, but you can use any number of abilities. The player who goes first in the match is the same who initiated the battle. In this case, you encountered an ambush, so your opponent will have the first turn.
That bit the white of an eye from half a league away.
To attack the Queen? An outrage!
The strength of each unit you play adds to your army's total strength. 7, 5, 10. The player whose army has the most strength points at the end of a round will win the round. Some units have armor. Armor absorbs certain amounts of damage dealt to the unit. Right.
Your Grace, the men await. You must lead to begin the attack.
Most cards have an ability of some kind, some learn more about it. To learn more about it, select the card and read its short description. Additional information will appear if you right-click the card. Play any card. So, let's see what this does. So, this card has 3 health and 2 armor, I believe. Oh, that's pretty cool actually. That says credits the artist. Deploy. Move 1 unit to the row opposite this unit and damage it by 1. Count Caldwell. Oh dear. Play a copy of each adjacent unit from your deck. Damage an enemy by the number of cards in this row, including self. Boost self by 5. I think we'd best play this one first because these other ones seem to well, either seem to be relying on cards that are already in the game. If I don't, I might be misunderstanding that. So yeah. So this might not be true for the entire game, but here we only have 2 rows. I remember in Gwent in Witcher 3 you had 3 rows. Kind of your melee and your ranged, and then you had a third one for kind of your ballistas.
There's a tighter reach.
Salt of the earth, they are, your grace. They'd follow you into fire. You need simply say the word.
Scythemen have the loyal ability. This means that their other abilities are activated every time you use Meave's ability. Each leader has its own unique ability. To learn what it is, just select the leader. Meave's ability allows her to boost a unit's strength and add armor to it. She can use this ability once every few turns. Boost an ally by 4 and give it 1 armor. Cooldown 3 turns. To use Meave's ability, select her, then select one of your units.
I shall teach you to respect the crown, you dogs!
You cannot make any more moves. It's time to end your turn, right? So they're kind of implying that you'll have different leaders, but well, I don't know enough about this game, but I always thought that she was the only. Maybe they're talking about single player versus multiplayer. Maybe you have different leaders in multiplayer, but I thought that this game is entirely based on Meave as the. But I could be wrong.
We'll catch them all! Armor won't say.
To end your turn, press the coin button. So yeah, that was all that we could do.
Look out! Seek cover! We are bombarded!
Your opponent's cards also have abilities. Be sure to read their description carefully and adapt your strategy accordingly. Play any card. Well,
Time I taught you some respect.
Aye.
The strays took tail and run. Yes, our victory is assured. Sound the horns. May they sing praises of this triumph for ages.
when you have played all of your cards, the end turn button will turn into a pass button. When you pass, you will not be able to perform any actions until the start of your next turn. To end the last turn of a round, press the coin button. Pass. Right. The player whose army has the most strength points at the end of a round will win the round. In the event of a tie, both players will receive a victory point.
The battle's not yet done. It is better to conserve our strength. Prepare for a strike that will prove decisive. Battle formation! Protect the Queen!
The player who won the previous round will play the first in the next round. Play any card. Well,
Should have listened to me, old lady. Thing about slings, they hide well.
can't hit the back row. Guess not. Maybe I can if I...
One bullet's all I need.
Alright.
The chase is on!
Give me a target.
You've won 2 rounds in a row, which means you are the battle's victor. Congratulations.
I congratulate you on your latest victory, Your Grace. The bandits stood not a chance.
Matters seem indeed to have gotten out of hand, to put it mildly.
Meve said, arms crossed atop her shining breastplate.
They've grown bold. Doubtless after the raid on the manor, the tax collectors. I've not heard of an ambush on the high road afore.
Caldwell explained, avoiding his liege's wrathful gaze.
Enough, Caldwell. We must put things right. Come!
The Queen's retinue set out, cavalry in front, infantry and arbalists close behind, and, following in the rear, the bandits, bound in chains.
Spoils of the battle, it seems. Do we have a larger map? No.
Ah, I do adore this prospect.
Yes. Lyria, the Pearl of the North. With its hills and dales. Why, its beauty matched only by that of its queen.
After 3 weeks in the saddle, I've my doubts, Count. We shall pitch camp here. Our soldiers need respite. A spell of it they deserve.
To survey your army, you must first pitch camp. Pitch camp by pressing the tent button on the left side of the screen. Alright, guess we have no choice. Camp buildings allow you to expand your army and give you access to important information. Most camp buildings can be improved in your workshop. These improvements will give you access to stronger units, thus easing your journey down the line. Enter the workshop. Here you can build and improve camp buildings. To improve your camp building, you must first collect the appropriate quantity of golden wood. For your journey, you'll definitely need access to a regional map, but to get it, you will need to improve your royal tent. Upgrade your royal tent to level 2. Thanks to this improvement, you now have access to the regional map, which you can open from the main game screen. The workshop itself can also be improved. With each subsequent improvement, you will gain access to new, stronger units. Go to the command tent to view your army. Alright, this is the royal tent, not the command tent. In the command tent you can create units and build your army from available cards. Improving this building will increase your army's recruit cap, allowing you to use stronger units. The cards currently in your deck are displayed on the left hand side. All cards available for you to create and place in your deck are displayed on the main screen. Right. You gain access to new cards by upgrading your training grounds and workshops, as well as through certain story related tasks. Grayed out cards are available, but have not yet been created. You must first create them before you can include them in your deck. Your deck must contain a minimum of 25 cards while not exceeding your army's recruit cap. Currently your recruit cap sits at 125 points. To create new cards you need a particular resource, recruits. You can gain recruits at conscription posts, which are marked on a map with a helmet icon, as well as through certain story-related tasks. You've received additional resources to recruit a Wagenburg card. Right-click now on the Wagenburg to preview and recruit it. Fortitude, Reynard Odo, Count Caldwell. Wagenburg, right. Wagenburg machine field support. Damage all units on an enemy's row by this unit's armor amount. Then lose all armor. Gain 1 armor whenever a card appears on this row. Add Wagenburg to your deck. Do we just... Oh, there we go. You can now view and create new cards, or return to the main game screen and to continue your journey. Should we? Deploy. Give 1 charge to units with depleted order. Deploy trigger this ability when played. Charge the number of times an order ability can be used. An ability triggered manually by the player. Units with order cannot be used for 1 turn after being placed on the battlefield, whereas artifacts can be used immediately. Lyrian Arbalast. Yeah, so we had that one. Scytheman. Drummer. Another Wagenburg. Rivian Pikeman. Field Medic. So yeah, we can only make copies of the ones we already have, it seems. How do we get? We get 5, I guess. War wagon. I don't know. Do these have 8? Or did the other ones have 8 as well? Oh, we can. Well, doesn't seem we could do much here. Back. You can now take a look at your other camp buildings to familiarize yourself with their functions, or you can return to the main game screen to continue your journey. Can we upgrade the workshop itself? No, we don't have enough wood. Not enough resources. Training grounds. Provides access to the training grounds and enable you to recruit new combat units and command in the command tent. This gives you some passive abilities. Right. Use scouts to mark the locations of treasure and resources on your regional map. So this is one of the few things that we actually can. No, we also have enough to do this. Well, for now, let's take this one. There you go. You can talk with your companions in the mess tent. Give them a little bit of your time and you may learn a secret or two. Grey Rider, Reynard. Alright.
A bit of respite, Reynard.
Yes. But if you've any new orders, Your Grace, I can be ready at any...
At ease, Reynard. At ease.
It's not wearisome sitting alone.
Don't you find it wearisome sitting alone? Wouldn't you prefer another's company? Swapping tales with the innkeep, even?
Your concern, I most appreciate, Your Grace. But I prefer silence.
Has it always been thus with you? Ever a man apart?
Quite the contrary, Your Grace. As a youth, I gloried in company, delighted in conversation.
So what was it that changed you?
That delight nearly cost me my head. But do you truly not know the tale, milady? How I came to be your departed husband's aide?
I don't, but would gladly hear it.
I had but 20 winters behind me when I enlisted. Yet I was granted the rank of lieutenant from the start, not by merit, but by birth. The respect of veteran officers, both my peers and seniors, that they could not grant, nor did I deserve it. To earn that respect became my driving aim, and to seem wise beyond my years, I began spouting off about the king's decisions. This maneuver Reginald botched, that he failed to think through, and yet elsewhere he'd blundered like a schoolboy.
Well, doomed to end badly, that, I dare say.
Talk of that nature could only ever result in misfortune.
It was not long before I was clanking about in shackles. Another officer had reported me. I was charged with lèse-majesté. The court-martial took but a quarter of an hour to deliver verdict and sentence. I was guilty of treason, and the noose awaited me. But Reginald first stayed the execution, then ordered that I repeat every word I'd uttered about his person or deeds. Soaked with sweat, my voice cracking, I did as he ordained. Reginald listened, raptly and silently, and when I'd finished, he declared I was right. He then appointed me his personal aide. A clever lad like you, I can always use at my side.
Indeed. Though hardly sharp himself, wisdom in others Reginald both recognized and heeded.
It was then I swore two things. Firstly, never again to wag my tongue like a fool. Secondly, never to betray his trust.
And you never did. Know what he told me moments before he passed? Trust none of them, Meve, save Reynard. The old sod was right about that, at least. I thank you for sharing that tale, Reynard. Truly.
Willem is not suited to be king.
Alas. I've come to fear Willem might simply not be cut out to be a king, let alone a good one.
A harsh judgment, Your Grace. Let's not be hasty. The prince is but 16 summers to him.
And is thus fully grown. The crown he should be able to bear at his age. Yet I left the land in his care for but a few months, and look what's become of it. Bandits roam and loot unchecked.
We might yet learn of mitigating circumstances. Events beyond his control.
Would that it were so, Reynard. Would that it were so. Elsewise we must hope Ancaeus will demonstrate more wit than his brother. Though I see little chance of that either.
I must go.
It's time I attended to other matters.
In the royal tent you can view the letters and maps you've received so far, as well as keys and card fragments. The royal tent screen can also be accessed from the main game screen by pressing the knapsack icon. Letters. Royal Steward's letter. Your Highness, artisans from Grabogor have prepared a new tapestry pattern for the throne room. I've included an engraving of the design. You will be pleased with it, I hope. A Cintrian lion inherited from King Coram I. Bared fangs offer stunning realism. Barred fangs. No, bared fangs. And the ancestral sword of the Delans of Temeria appears as if forged in the very depths of Mahakam. Mahakam? I've no doubt it shall prove the castle's latest masterpiece. We eagerly await your return, my lady. Gustave Perrault, Royal Steward. Oh, quite the artist. Letters from King Demavant. Dear Meve, you've my gratitude for attending the summit. What luck we did not put off meeting any longer. From what my men say, armies on the march are kicking up a veritable dust storm across the Yaruga. Come what may, remember, you have my full unconditional support. Best wishes, Demavant. Nilfgaardian movement. Noted increased Nilfgaardian activity in foothills of Amel Mountain and near Rietbrunn. Ambassador claims routine training exercises, number of troops, quality of equipment indicate otherwise. Recommend strengthening border forces and tripling patrols along Yaruga. Strays of Spala. Bandit group formed after revolt in dungeons of Spala Castle. Mainly pickpockets, racketeers, cutpurses, assassins armed with slings, daggers, instruments of torture stolen from Spala. Headmen's axes, saws, hammers. Cleverer and bolder than common bandits, attack heavily armored convoys, noblemen's mansions, unable to determine identity of the group's leader. Milka's map. Yeah, we solved that one. We don't have any keys, we don't have any card fragments. This still... right, oh, I see. We can't get anything, but we forgot to check. Exit camp. Remember that you can open your map by clicking on the compass rose icon to the left, on the left side of the screen. Your primary task is marked with an exclamation point. To see what awaits you next, scroll through the map. Main quest. Ah, this is a cool map. Scouts. To reveal more areas of the map. How much gold do we have? Sure. Chest, loot. Okay. Point of interest. So that's how that works. Current location, notice board, main quest, point of interest, fast travel, battle, puzzle, golden chest, shrine, conscription post, loot, locked items. Right, that's our position, I guess. Yeah. Save game. Alright, well, I think I'll leave it at that for now. Probably do some more, at least one episode more about on this game. Yeah, really like the look of this game, the aesthetics. It's all, even this screen, it's really well done. Yeah, the real thing is the card game gets in the way of it. Yeah, like I said, also with The Witcher 3, I wasn't really all that interested in Gwent. I what's the word? I condoned it? No. I endured it? No. Well, Yeah. Well, I didn't hate it, I'll say that much, but yeah. So, not sure if... well, it's just a tutorial now, so it's pretty bare bones up until now, but yeah, I haven't really found any of these card deck games. What do you call them? Card battlers? Card battle games, whatnot. That I've actually really had an interest in and really liked so far. So, and I don't expect this game to be any different. But yeah, so far I'm interested in playing a bit more of this. But I'll stop the first episode at here for now. So thanks for watching.